My mother said to me, the way we have light is because of the old man who lives in the sky. The old man who lives in the sky? I asked. Oh yes, said my mother. The old man who lives in the sky. He once lived on Earth, when the Earth was dark and cold and nobody could see anything. But sometimes, just sometimes, he would lift his arm and then we could see everything. Sometimes this was nice, and sometimes this was too hot and too bright because he, the old man, would lift his arm whilst we were sleeping. And sometimes he would not, or could not, lift his arm for days and days, and we could see nothing at all. So we, the mothers, persuaded the children to gently lift him up so that he would not wake. And then, when we had assembled all the children, we asked them to carefully lift him up as high as he could go. And then we, the mothers, all helped to throw him high up into the sky. And as we did so, he lifted his arm, and very quickly thereafter he would lift his arm so that the sun could shine just at the right time, rolling over to sleep some more, pulling his arm back, and thus making nightfall. By now, of course, we could see by day, and we quickly became used to this, as we could hunt and plant, we could swim and fish, we could look at the delicate Cape flowers, we could catch fish with our bare hands and loosen the black mussels from the rocks, we could find good shelter against the rain and the danger. But at night, when the darkness visited the earth again, because we were so blinded by the light, we could no longer see. And so whenever darkness came to earth, we found it difficult to move about. And so the first young woman, she was cross with her mother because her mother had left. Her mother had left and all the other mothers had left, and they left her in a small hut because she was now fully grown. She had become a woman just on that day, and her mother had made her this small hut. She had to stay there by herself, the girl. She had to make her own fire, cook for herself, look after herself, and so she was angry. She was angry because her mother had gone away. Her mother and all the other mothers had gone away to find the right herbs, but they couldn't see. None of the mothers could see. And she couldn't see either because it was night and the darkness had come to visit again. And in her hut, her mother had left her some food to eat. She left noem-noems and koekemakrankas and uintjies and zuurvye and goe and red roots and white roots. She had left all the good food, and the girl was hungry. She wanted to cook. She lit a small fire just outside her hut, but she was scared and all alone because she couldn't see because of the darkness visiting again. And she looked at the fire and looked up at the inky night and said to herself, I want to see in the dark. I want to chase the darkness away. And so she just put her hands into the wood ashes and threw the wood ashes into the sky. And she said to the wood ashes, wood ashes, go up, fly high up into the sky and make light for me so that I can do my duties. You must fly high and light the way of the sky. And as they flew up into the sky, they made small little speckles of light. And then she stuck her hands back into the fire and pulled out all the red tubers. And she threw these up into the sky, and they made the red stars we see at night. But she still wasn't satisfied, that young woman. She put her hands back into the fire and drew out all the white tubers, and they became the white stars. And she did this again and again and again until there was much light. And as she did this, the way she threw it made a long line in the sky, and she said, Oh, you look like milk. You look like a long road. You should chase the night away. And so these stars twisted its back this way and that way, and then it saw the Sun Man. Now these stars were a little bit lonely, and it was so excited to see the Sun Man, and it wanted to join the Sun Man, to befriend the Sun Man. But they could never quite catch him, no matter how hard they tried. And so, until today, the stars are still chasing the Sun Man, twisting its back this way and that way, into the night sky and into the long Milky Way.